It's the fish that saved Pittsburgh. Whoa, whoa. Hey, it's the fish that saved Pittsburgh.
Oh, man, he's moonwalking. What the hell?
Hi, welcome to Krush House. I'm your host, Wayne Allyn Root, the CEO of Vegas Winners and the man the media calls the king of Vegas sports gambling and America's odds maker. I'm the only sports handicapper in the world with a 180-pound granite star on the Vegas Walk of Stars. Now, my company, Vegas Winners, sponsors this Krush House series, this podcast, Krush House, as well as Krush House Cappers and Krush House Legends. Whether you love sports, sports gambling, or sports legends, we've got the podcast for you. Later in the show, I'll be back with my Football Insider segment with former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury to bring you insights on the NFL and valuable point spread advice for all the sports gamblers out there. But right now, I'll throw it to my main men, Frank, Sean, and former NBA great Rick Mahorn. See you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Wayne Allyn Root. He'll be back later in the show. But welcome to Krush House. I am your host, Frank Nicotero. This week, we're going to talk about LeBron playing basketball on TV tonight. That's right. And we also have our very own Deb Whitkus going to be coming up with a really fun piece for you guys to watch. But as always, the one and only Sean Salisbury is here to talk about everything, not just football. He knows everything. And of course, we've had him on since the NBA playoffs have started, which I think was in December of 2020. I don't know. But he's here, and I want him here forever. It's Rick Mahorn. And Rick, you are looking sharp in that Krush House gear. How come I don't have any of that yet? What is going on?
Hey, you're not a bad boy. You're not a bad boy. This is a bad boy stuff right here. Krush House.
It looks pretty obvious who the motherfucking superstar on this group is, Rick Mahorn.
Now, what size is that shirt? That was intended for me, I think.
Medium. It's really tight. I'm having trouble breathing right now.
Hey,
okay,
and Rick, if you'd have given that to Frank a medium, it hung down to his ankles anyway to ward his address, right, Frankie?
Hey, Sean, they probably hide them little ugly legs he keeps showing every time he gets
these bad boys? Yeah, there they are.
He almost fell. Did you see that?
Yes, he did.
Well, listen, let's get to the NBA. That's why we got Rick here. Let's talk about what's going on. The home team has won every game. Not only have they won, but hey, we're Krush House. Let's talk a little betting. The line has been about 4.5 points on every game. Home team has covered every game. This Saturday, we got Phoenix back home. They're -4. I don't know. Is the home team going to win every game, Rick? What do you think?
Well, my thing is, if you're the home team, you have to protect home. Right now, Phoenix has the home court advantage, and Sean knows having home court advantage is always good, but the playoffs don't really start till you lose at home, and that's the thing. Who's going to be hungry? Who's thirsty? For me, Milwaukee did what they had to do. They won both games at home, and then now you have Phoenix who won their first two at home. Now it comes to that 3-1-1, and now, this is when it all starts. Because back in the day when we were in the finals, it was like, okay, we stole a game from L.A., but then L.A. stole a game from us. But the format was totally different than it is now. So, I mean, if Sean's son can't make that good food, that good, dealing with what he has to deal with. But the thing is, we, as the Krush House legends, our prayers go to Sean and his family as well, dealing with what he has to deal with. So, but with that being said, hey, Phoenix got to win home, and Chris Paul's got to play better. LeBron should have got the MVP a couple of years ago playing against Golden State because he averaged about 35. Sometimes I think it's an anomaly that Jerry West got it, but it is for the best player in the playoffs. And if you look at it, you go like, okay, he's the best player so far. But as they move forward, man, I don't think he'll get it. If it's a bet out there, somebody might say, you know what, this might be a good bet. The odds are good. Why not take it? Yeah, Giannis may get it. You never know what the NBA is going to do.
Now listen, we just mentioned LeBron James. I don't know if you guys know this, but LeBron is playing in the championship on TV tonight. Let me clarify. Space Jam comes out today in theaters and on HBO Max. So you can watch LeBron play. It's with cartoons, but
I'm probably going to entertain watching that.
I know. Hey, we're going to check it out. And listen, I love movies. Best basketball movie is this. But speaking of movies, our own Deb Whitkus, our field reporter, she went to the movies to do a little gambling. I know you're confused. Take a look at this. It'll explain it. Take it away, Deb.
Hey guys, it's Deb, and I'm here at I Pick Atlanta. It's a luxury movie theater. And now that movies are starting to open up, I want to go talk to some people and do some movie trivia. Who starred in the remake of The Longest Yard? Adam Sandler, Tom Cruise, or Matt Damon?
I think it's going to be Adam Sandler.
Very good, that is correct. Staying with The Longest Yard, who was hired as a consultant to train Adam Sandler? Sean Salisbury, Peyton Manning, or A-Rod?
Got me on that one. I'm going to have to say Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning.
So close, but unfortunately no. And Sean Salisbury is actually one of our co-hosts of the show.
Get out of here!
So I think for Sean, we're gonna have to make this guy do some push-ups, right? Like that's what a quarterback would do, right?
You're not gonna lie. How many we gotta do?
I don't know, 20.
20? Alright. I can knock it.
Are you ready? I'll count them for you.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. How many Raisinets do you think is in this bag?
Ooh. They got at least feel like more than like 100 at least.
Do you want to go? You want to go with 100?
Yeah, I go with 100. I go 125.
You go with 125. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the over/under on that. So if it's over 10 or under 10 of 125, you guys get free movie tickets. So wait, what's the final count here?
163 is the total count. Hey, we should win 150. Oh, damn.
9, 10, 11. Ladies, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Do you like M&Ms?
We do. Oh, yes. Those are my favorite.
My favorite color is red. So I'm going to go with how many red M&Ms are in this box?
7, 8 red ones. Yeah. I'm going to go a little higher and say about 15.
Okay. So I'm going to say, can we go with 9? And I'm going to give you the over-under of 5.
Okay.
All right, ladies. So if you win, I'm going to give you free movie tickets.
Woo!
And if you don't win, you have to get up and do some cheers.
Okay. Well, she's a cheerleader. Okay. So I got
She can do
that. Maybe. These jeans are a little tight and I did just eat a full meal. But we got this.
All right, shall we count?
Yes. Okay. Let's see.
So the math on that is 14 red or 4 red.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. There's one. Okay. Uh-oh. There's one. Oh gosh. Look at this. I told you. I said smaller box.
Oh
and
my
bigger
gosh,
pieces.
just one.
It's going to be less.
18, 19, and 20.
Ready? Okay. C-R-U-E-L-L-A. Cruella. Let's go. We just saw Cruella at I Pick Theaters.
Thank you very much, Deb. Good to have you back on the Krush House. But we want to talk a little football on this week's show, too. And who better to do it than Wayne Allyn Root and Sean talking about some hot topics in the NFL. So, Sean and Wayne talked earlier. Here you go.
All right, this is Wayne Allyn Root. Each week we do a NFL segment, and we throw in a little gambling wisdom and point spread insights with the great NFL quarterback, Sean Salisbury. And we have a great time every week. But I would be remiss if I didn't open this week's segment by talking about the fact that Sean just had his mom pass away literally in the last 24 hours. And of course, I didn't expect him to do this podcast. And yet here he is. And Sean, look, our prayers, our condolences are with you. God bless you. God bless your mom. You know she's watching us right now up in heaven.
Yeah, thanks, Wayne. It's good to be with you and with all of you great friends here. I can't thank you enough for the support. It's tough. Anytime you lose somebody that has impacted your life and our family so much as my mother, and she's with my dad again, so that's a blessing, and that's a good thought for us. But it's a emotional and mental grind. But what my mom went through, she didn't need to suffer anymore. So thank you. It's great to be here, and it's a great deviation to get with some people I can laugh and have a good time with. But she was an impactful woman, and I'll miss her dearly. And there'll be more tears, but I'm sure grateful to be with you today. Thank you.
You know, we've all been there. Just to share with you, I lost my mom and dad 28 days apart to cancer, and I had a sports handicapping TV show in those days on USA TV network nationwide, and I never missed one show in between two funerals 3,000 miles away. And you know why? I'm guessing it's the same reason you're here today. It's good to get your mind off of someone you love dying. It's good to focus on sports just to get away from the pain and the crying and the feelings of, of loneliness. So it kind of reminds you of everything great you still got going on, so you could focus on this. I hope this is your distraction.
It is. And Wayne, it's funny and great you say that. And my mom and dad, if I didn't learn anything, which I hope I did, but if I learned one thing from them, aside from love, was how to work. And my dad would have said it, and he did on his deathbed. I'll never forget about the last few words he said to me, and I saw him take his last breath in 2007, was, you make sure you take care of your mother. And hopefully I did. And I know my mom, and passing away yesterday afternoon, would have said that, hey, you make sure you get your butt to work. We're going to be fine. You take care of your brothers and sister, and here we are. So everybody, we had a great family. Everybody was by their side, but they taught us how to work, and this is where I'm supposed to be right now. Or my dad come down and mom and put a little whooping on me, so I'm not ready to have that. So this is an honor to them because they taught us how to do it.
You know, I love you. You and I are from the same kind of background, blue collar. My dad missed one day of work at the butcher shop in his entire life. Guess what that day was? The day he died. That was the only day he ever missed work. He came into work no matter what, in blizzards. If he was sick, it didn't matter. He went to work every day. So that I learned the same type of work ethic and the same type of values. I really appreciate it, man. Amen. You're the man.
Thank you, brother.
Sean, let's talk a little football. Now it's time to get your mind off it. Here's your distraction.
There you go.
Football.
Right.
So we found out today something so amazing. Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with a destroyed knee. He played the entire season with a knee injury. We all knew he had an injury. I had no idea it was that significant. It turns out other players would have been out for the season, and he won the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, tomorrow he's going to try to walk on water, and he'll probably succeed with that too. The guy's phenomenal, and he did it all this, Wayne, not at 23 or 24 when it seems guys recover quicker.
Right.
At 43 years old, on his way to 44. I shredded my knee twice in my sophomore year, back in the day when you had plaster casts from your toe all the way up to your groin, and mine was a torn MCL the first time, and I couldn't have played the next week. But I have been on teams where a guy had either a slightly torn MCL and rehabbed it and strengthened it and put a brace on, was able to play. So it's not the first time, but it is amazing because of all the lateral movement a quarterback must make, and to be able to put your foot in the ground and cut and slide in the pocket and still throw for almost 4,700 yards and 40 TDs and be able to keep it from the team. And then, oh, by the way, I'm going to get surgery in February after posting a Super Bowl victory. It's phenomenal. But quite frankly, does it surprise you, Wayne? It's Brady, right? And we expect him to play through anything. That's called playing through injury, not just playing through being hurt. He's a phenomenal human being and a phenomenal tough. For a guy who has all the good looks and the happy family and all the money and all the Super Bowl rings, one thing, he'll cut your heart out and feed it to you. That's how tough he is.
You know, in high school, underneath my picture in the yearbook, you had to pick a quote, and my quote was, anything the mind can conceive, you can achieve. And that's a great example of it. You know, there are many people in life that underachieve, and then you got Tom Brady at the top of the heap. You know, you got Jesus up here, and then Tom Brady. The guy is amazing. And he just decided he was going to will his team to a Super Bowl with a badly destroyed knee. Crazy.
Hey, Wade, how would this be, Wade, if Jesus called Tom for some insight and toughness, right? And sometimes it feels like that, right? That sounds so sacrilegious, but I say that with a smile and affectionately. But Tom Brady's nothing short of phenomenal. What a great example he is for his teammates on how to work, going back to what you mentioned in the first part of this show.
No, he's a great example for everyone, for every kid in America who thinks they're entitled to a stimulus check. You know, it's just work, man. You got to work. You'll never succeed with a check from government. Work. All right, let's talk about Let's switch gears to something much more unpleasant in sports. Richard Sherman. What do you make of that? You know, I'm the biggest Dallas Cowboy fan in the world. I was dying for the Cowboys to pick him up as a free agent this summer. I figured they'd pick him up because they have a bunch of young cornerbacks and he could teach them how to play. Well, obviously that goes by the wayside.
Yeah, Wayne, what it tells me, and looking deeper into this, about people were on watch about him back in February. Friends and teammates had been visiting him, and you saw from the video and read the transcript and heard the 911 call. And by the way, if you're a 911 operator, please have a little more compassion. You might be able to help somebody a little more instead of be combative. That's just for me, and I'm not a 911 operator, but it tells me that this is more serious and deeper than just one drinking too much. And I'm grateful that nobody got hurt in this physically, but I'm sure the mental and emotional scars exist. It's a time when we can bash somebody, and I know it's tough, and going through this week, the tendency would be to jump all over it. Since nobody got hurt, I hope that he gets help, and I hope he's okay, because he's a great guy, a brilliant guy, a hell of a football player, a Hall of Fame career, and it's unfortunate going through this. Now, I'm not going to speculate on, is it concussions, is it depression, all those things, is it the end of his career, whatever it might be. He's going through difficult times, so I'm leading to the compassionate side and hope he and his family come out of this okay, because this is an easy time to bash somebody. And it's obviously a time that Richard Sherman is going through his rock bottom, and I hope he's okay, because I could pile on, but I'm with you. It's tough. You put yourself in bad situations. He needs help right now, and hopefully his friends and family and whoever else he needs to seek it from will get it for him and his family.
I just see it as a Pete Rose analogy, by the way. You know, we've had Pete Rose on this show, and he's a friend of mine, and I hate it that he's not in the Hall of Fame. And I look at all these players that do terrible things and attack people and get drunk and, thank God in his case nobody died, but driving drunk, you could murder someone in a car accident. And if they're good enough, they still make the Hall of Fame. But you're going to keep someone out of the Hall of Fame because he gambled on himself. I don't know. I think it's crazy. There's so many players involved in off-season incidents and extracurricular incidents. We got to learn that if you have Hall of Fame stats, you belong in the Hall of Fame. And what happens on the field should be the only thing that determines if you're in the Hall of Fame. And Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. That's what I take away from the Richard Sherman incident. Just my take.
Pete Rose, I was going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt. Wayne, I'm with you 100%. And I know you and Pete are friends, and I've known him a long time and had him on my show a few times. I think he's one of the 10 best baseball players of all time. When I grew up, how to run to first base and how to do it, Pete Rose was at the top of it. I think 3,000 singles, let alone 4,000 plus hits. 3,000 of them are singles. Most guys don't get to that. He's a Hall of Famer. He belongs in it, and I don't think there's any question about it. All that being said, I think he served his time, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but talk about compassion. Everybody, I think, or at least most people that watched it, believe that Pete Rose, I know his performance says Hall of Fame. It's unfortunate that we don't recognize that yet.
And he had our attitude. You always show up for work no matter what happens. Charlie Hustle, one of the great work ethic guys of all time. Last question. John Gruden and McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, both on the hot seat this year. I'm just wondering, if either one of them misses the playoffs, do you think they get fired? And if either one of them makes the playoffs, maybe just as, say, a wild card, and then loses in that first wild card round, is that enough to save their job, or are these guys gone in today's NFL?
Wayne is a lifelong Raider fan for me, and I've known John a long time, and from the John Maddens all the way through the Raiders. I think we're waiting on this to get back to that commitment to excellence. John wants to win. I don't think he's in that big a danger because of his relationship with Al Davis. Even if they miss the playoffs, now the periphery, everybody's going to say John's in danger. 10-year contract, he'll be about halfway through it. Yes, I think he demands it of himself, but I also know that the NFL, we get on guys no matter what their track record is, what have you done for me lately? I don't think John's in danger now. If he gets to the playoffs and they go deep, or he gets to the playoffs and they lose, he'll still have his job. If they go deep in the playoffs or somehow challenge Kansas City in the division, he may get a contract extension. Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. Mike McCarthy doesn't make the playoffs or gets in and loses in the first round, he's out. That's one of the hottest seats in the league.
Agreed. And by the way, you said Al Davis. It's Mark Davis now. I know his original relationship.
Did I say Al? Yeah, Mark. Al from then and
Davis.
Now Mark Davis. Yes. Yes.
Mark sits next to me at dinner every Saturday night, so I can't forget Mark Davis. And by the way, I just want to mention one thing. Everybody loves to make money, and everybody loves to save money from the tax man, I'm going to give you a little known stat that very few people know. And I'm a low tax guy, right? I love to keep my money. That's why I live in Las Vegas. 0 income tax. When they gave Mark Davis a $100 million contract, he said the first 3 years they'd be in Oakland, California, where the tax rate is sky high. And the last 7, they'd be in Vegas, where the tax rate is 0. So he structured his contract so he made like $1 million a year for the first 3 years and backdated the whole $97 million to when he landed in Vegas so he'd pay 0 state income tax. John Gruden's my kind of guy. Smart
guy. Yeah,
there you go.
It's not what you make, it's what you keep, right, Wayne?
That's
and that's
it.
A good thing for John Gruden. I don't think he's in any danger. I think the Raiders and Mark Davis love him too much, but they do need to win for us Raider fans. It's time.
All right, there you go. Sean Salisbury, a very tough day, and you're a yeoman, and you're a hardworking guy, and you're a loyal guy, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Sean. God bless you. God bless your mom, and our condolences and prayers to your whole family.
Love you, man. Thank you for having me on, Wayne. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it.
Love you too. Thank you. God bless. All right, I'm Wayne Allyn Root. Thanks for hanging out with us on Krush House today. I want you to remember you could sign up to become a part of the Krush House gang and unlock all of my winning picks for free forever, only at vegaswinners.com. And check out all of our entertaining and informative Krush House podcasts. Enter to win prizes, including trips to Vegas, to join me and the Krush House gang to watch a game, break some bread, and experience Sin City like few ever will. All of our expert picks right here on the Krush House Network are free forever at vegaswinners.com. Right now, register and get your picks. Get the wisdom, and the winning is free. Thank you for dropping in to another episode of Krush House, because winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Bye-bye.
You were doing the running, man. Really?